I want to talk about something that's I've had my own experiences with this year, and it's tough. And it's working with friends. You guys host the yard, co-host the yard with Lud and with Falco, and y'all. I was listening to the most recent episode, and there was a joke that Lud made that it was like, "I do this to make my friends rich." And if somebody without the context of the relationship of the four of you would be like, "Yo, man, that guy's an asshole," but like totally, obviously it's a joke, and there's context and depth there, but it is hard when you disagree with someone that like you're friendly with otherwise, and both of you all started as his friends, not as his employees. And so I want to ask you about that, the working with friends and how it changes the dynamic of things.
I
Yeah,
imagine our
we're
answer is
just
going to be pretty
goats.
similar.
Aren't we just goated, Aiden? We communicate with each other, and when there are problems, we figure it out. And Ludwig's actually extremely easy to kind of work with. He has this problem where he doesn't communicate when he does have problems, and he just tries to fix it quietly, which we've tried to draw out of him. I bought a Sibian. Do you know what a Sibian is, Jacob Wolf?
I do
You
not.
don't.
Please elaborate.
So a
Yeah.
Sibian, Jacob Wolf, is an electronic sex machine that you sit on and you put inside of you, and it vibrates at just neck break speeds.
It vibrates fast.
It's as fast as it can be.
If you were close enough to it, you might mistake it for a jackhammer outside your room.
And so I bought this Sibian, and I used like his company money instead of like yard money, and it was just like this issue that I didn't really understand was a problem, because it's an expensive sex machine, Jacob. It's like $3,000 for a Sibian, for a good one, and I wanted to get a good one, and I just
You
bought
wouldn't
it.
want a bad Sibian.
Would you want a bad Sibian? No, you want the Maserati of Sibians. And
If
I
it's
bought
going,
it for a gag.
if it's going somewhere, you wouldn't want it to be bad.
I bought it for a gag on the show, and it was this thing, and it was like probably one of our biggest conflicts. He was like, "Oh, you should be using like yard money for that." I'm like, you know what, you're right. And I think about it, but like as far as like things like that, we I think we really are good at problem solving and care about each other, and there's no ego. You know what I mean? Like we all care about we all know our strengths, we know our weaknesses, and we work together. And that's, I think, why we're also friends, right? The drama is kept to a minimum because we talk.
Yeah, I think that's basically. I think we're all very good about being candid and communicative with each other. Like we're very upfront about our like personal problems as well as like our problems related to work, and find a way to like work through them generally, and also kind of have this unique shared ambition in different ways. I think we're almost lucky in a way where like all of us sort of have this like different area of like expertise that was like applicable to what Ludwig wanted to do, and we all have similar values in terms of like why we want to accomplish things and what we want to do in the space, and also like how we communicate those things to others. And it's so I don't feel like there's ever been like a heavy tension in that regard, because this question's come up more than once, and I'm always surprised by like how easy it is in a way.
The most me and Aiden have ever fought has not been about work. It was about he took my
Melee.
green tea. Oh, Melee.
Oh,
but you also took my tea. And
yeah.
I literally almost fought him with my actual hands. And that had nothing to do with work. It had everything to do with him being just uncompromisingly evil.
There was okay. Bought you for replacement one. Anyway, green teas aside, I think something that also really helped is like the base, like this core group of people, if you want to call like the four of us that, although like at this point the company extends like far beyond like our group. We had all worked together before. Like pretty much all of us were coworkers except for Ludwig. With already there were instances where like prior to us leaving Beyond the Summit, Ludwig would like rope us into things somehow, be like, can you help me with this? Can you do this for me? I'll pay you like this contractor fee to like just do this one thing. So there was a lot of like groundwork for whether or not it would be a good idea. And it's pretty much stayed that way. Like I think, our friendship is like fundamentally very similar to how it was before. I don't think the company has like drastically changed a lot of it, other than the fact that we all just have more to do. I think we're all busier than we used to be. But I don't know, that's about it.
And, one last note on the yard. Ludwig has admitted that he created a monster because me and Nick and Ludwig lived together, just us, way back when me and Nick started at BTS. And then we always talked about just doing a podcast. Like, we're all in the house. We're funny. We are. It's just the literal, oh, we should start a podcast thing. We talked about it for years. And then finally, Ludwig was like, let's get this going. Let's do it. And he gave us a deadline. And then we did it, and it became a monster. And we make way more money as like employees through the podcast. And he said, like, I can no longer get you guys to do things because the podcast is so big. And I was like, don't ever talk to me like that ever again, you dumb piece of shit. Like, that's not why we're doing this. It's not because like you're paying us. It's because we like what we do, and that's never going to really change. Right. And so I think it was reassuring for him to hear that's like, no, bro, it's not like that. Like, the bread's good, but we also want to make tournaments and broadcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I want to do something cool. That's like I said earlier, like this is an incredible opportunity to not only work with my friends, but also to turn things around that I think like nobody else really can in this space right now. And that's very exciting to me. Like, I'm ultimately very happy that this is my position at the end of the day.
Thanks for watching Visionaries on YouTube. For more content, please subscribe to the Overcome channel.